What is good, y'all? Chris here. Just stepped out of the theater for Bikeriders. It's a film starring Austin Butler and Jodie Comer, as well as Tom Hardy. This is gonna be, I guess, no spoilers. I'll try my best. Not gonna be too long of a video. I'm driving right now, but so this is a Danny Lyons, I believe, film, or based off of the book by Danny Lyons, about a biker club out in Chicago called the Vandals. Um, the premise of this movie is it's about the club, and how over time the club began to transform from this club where they would just ride around and race, into a full-on gang over the years, and many changes and things of that sort. Um, I will say this movie, it does capture the 1960s, I think, very beautifully. The music, wonderful. I love the music. And the sound, like the sound of the motorcycles. Um, I thought whoever did the mixing for this movie, for the sound, did a wonderful job. As far as story, there's not much of a story to follow for this film. At certain points in this movie, I was like, I had to remind myself going in, like, knowing going into this film that the story is about this bike transforming. I will say that it kind of strings along events on how the club changes. There is a bit of deposition towards certain points. They'll just tell you what happened to the club instead of showing you what happened to the club. As far as performances, this is Jodie Comer. This is her movie, 100%. Austin Butler, he probably has the least amount of dialogue in this film, and he's billed as the lead. Obviously, he looks like a star, acts like a star. Some of his moments in the movie very well. But this is Jodie Comer's movie. She leads the film in terms of deposition, storytelling. You have the emotional tie is tied to her, and her experience with, being with Austin Butler's character Benny. As far as Tom Hardy goes, I think he was my favorite character by far. To see how running a club, the toll that it has on you, and whenever you start something and it changes over time, how do you deal with that? I thought Tom Hardy did a wonderful job. Expectations going into this movie, as far as the trailers that I saw and the synopsis that I read, I was very much looking forward to seeing more of the end result for the Club of the Vandals. But like I mentioned, it gave more deposition more than the actual telling or showing of the events. So that was kind of like, oh, okay, all right. In terms of the ending, I think you're either gonna love it or you're gonna hate it, if I'm being honest with you. I enjoyed it. I didn't love it. It wasn't like, oh, that was a very satisfying ending for this film. But it's the direction that they decided to go. So at the end of the day, do I recommend you checking this out in theaters? If you're a lover of the 1960s aesthetic, the 1960s music, the 1960s motorcycles, the clothes, beautiful. Whoever did the costume designs and the hair and everything, it's wonderful to look at. Tom Hardy was my favorite dressed Vandal. So go check it out if you like. If you're kind of on the edge, then I guess just wait for it to be for home video. I don't think it's a rush to go see it, but I will say every movie needs support during this summer releases. So yeah, go check it out if you'd like. That's my review. If I'd give it a score, I'd say like a 6.5 out of 10. And I say that's a good score. Story, not too much story, but I think Tom Hardy, Jodie Comer, wonderful. Austin Butler, great as well. He just wasn't the main lead. He didn't have that much dialogue. So, guys, give it a watch if you like. As always, I'm Chris. I'll catch y'all next time. Peace.